Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. While a wave of anger and anguish has swept across India over the brutality of the rape and murder at Kolkata hospital, another depravity from Badlapur near Thane in Maharashtra has shocked the collective conscience of the nation. I shudder to think of a mother whose 3-year-old child comes home and complains of a bad touch by Dada or Big Brother. Parents of 2 toddlers who learned that their children were sexually assaulted in a school toilet. Parents who were made to wait for over 12 hours as the police refused to file an FIR. The details in the medical report of these children are such that I can't even bear to say it out aloud. Because these are minors, toddlers. And let me tell you the timeline of this criminal apathy. The sexual assault on the 3- and 4-year-old girls happened on the 13th of August when the parents found out. They rushed to file a complaint. 3 days later, they were made to sit for 12 hours as the police refused to file an FIR till late night. Only 4 days after the crime was discovered, the accused Akshay Shinde was arrested. It took 6 days after massive protests to suspend the principal and the school staff, and finally it took 7 days for the Maharashtra government to step in and set up a special investigation team and suspend 3 cops. That's the timeline. And if that doesn't shock you, nothing will. Because nobody really cares. 7 days to set up an SIT, 13 hours for registering an FIR, making harrowed parents wait. Is this the way this country can run? As protesters took to the streets and pelted stones, a Congress member of parliament now, Pariniti Shinde, egged them on. Instead of advocating peace, she advised, Aag laga do. We will tell you how politics is undermining this fight for nyay. But first, let's get you Times Now's candid camera investigation. We went back to the scene of crime and found criminal lapses on the part of the administration. But not just that. One of the policemen stationed outside the school even claimed that the school is allegedly owned by a BJP leader, and there was pressure on cops to go slow. The usual story, but listen in to this shocking revelation on candid camera.
त्या माणसाचं काही पॉलिटिकल कनेक्शन वगैरे काय होतं म्हणून ऍक्शन नाही घेतली गेली असते.
हे वाटतं बीजेपी वाल्यांचं अधिकार काय लिडर आहे आम्हाला काय सांगता येणार नाही, पण असं ऐकून आहे बाबा बीजेपी वाले लिडर बोली गेले, आमचे लोक गेले ना बोले.
तुम्हाला कोणा काढलं गेलं ना वरच्या लेवलवर
3 लोक त्यांचं काही काम नाही. आता बघा हे पोस्को मधला प्रकार आहे. तर तुम्हाला एसआय बीएसआय वगैरे जे आहेत त्यांना सस्पेंड करता येत नाही. म्हणजे असं तिथं पीआय लेवलचा पोस्को म्हणून करण्यास
बीजेपी वाल्याने पीआय लेवलला
बीजेपी वाल्यांचं आपल्याला नक्की माहिती नाही, पण आता लोकांचं थोडंसं कानावर राहिलं असतं ते लिडरशिप त्यांची चालते.
Not just the school. This is what the Shinde Sarkar must answer. Why did police keep parents waiting for over 12 hours? Why did the police initially refuse to file an FIR? Did a 3-day delay in filing the FIR compromise crucial evidence? Is this school linked to a BJP leader as the opposition has alleged? And why was the school operating without CCTV cameras, flouting all norms? Instead of the opposition amplifying the chorus for justice, Rahul Gandhi's party member of parliament Pariniti Shinde is now adding fuel to fire by advising aag laga do. On the other hand, Chief Minister Shinde has alleged that the protests were hijacked by those with political motives to malign the state government. Watch this war of words.
विकृत मानसिकता है लोगों में बाहर आ रही है, क्योंकि सत्ता में जो है वो इसका समर्थन कर रहे हैं।
आज प्रोटेस्ट हो रहा था वहाँ पे, और
मैं तो कह रही हूँ प्रोटेस्ट तो बहुत सभ्य था, वहाँ पे तो आग लगानी चाहिए थी।
लाठीचार्ज की गई।
देखिए यही है ये जो सत्ताधारी, हम तो डीसीएम जो होम मिनिस्टर है उनका रेजिग्नेशन मांग रहे हैं, जो लड़कियों के लिए आते हैं उनके ऊपर लाठीचार्ज की जाती है।
जे कालचं जे आंदोलन होतं हे पॉलिटिकल मोटिवेटेड होतं असं माझं म्हणणं आहे. कारण इतक्या फटाफट कधी आंदोलन जेव्हा होतं ते स्थानिक लोक असतात, तिथं स्थानिक लोक हाताच्या बोटावर मोजण्या इतके होते आणि इतर ठिकाणून गाड्या भरून भरून त्या ठिकाणी आंदोलनकर्ते आले होते आणि मंत्री महोदयांनी समजून त्यांच्या सगळ्या मागण्या ज्या मागण्या होत्या त्या सगळ्या पूर्ण केल्या तरी हटायचं काम नाव घेत नव्हते. याचा अर्थ त्यांना हे बदनाम करायचं होतं सरकारला.
But are our netas undermining the fight for justice for betis? Let's remind you, in 2014, while opposing capital punishment for rape, Mulayam Singh Yadav had said, boys will be boys, galti ho jati hai. The next year, when asked about rising cases of rape in Uttar Pradesh under the Samajwadi Party regime, Mulayam Singh Yadav has said, when one commits rape, then 4 more are named. It is not even practical to talk about gang rape. On Bulandshahr gang rape, Samajwadi Party's Azam Khan said it's a political conspiracy to malign the image of the then Samajwadi Party chief. When a 23-year-old was gang raped, BJP's Kailash Vijayvargiya said women who cross the Lakshman Rekha get punished. In 2022, Mamata Banerjee questioned a 14-year-old's rape and murder by the victim, saying, was she actually raped? Was she pregnant? Is she no? It is a known love affair. Shouldn't that angle be looked at? All of these excuses coming from our netas. Are they not undermining the Shakti fight back by politicking and talking about women's safety almost as if women were responsible for what befell them? So, ladies and gentlemen, the legitimate question we're asking on the news hour tonight is, Aag Laga To Rajniti singeing Nyay? That's the question and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Joining me on the News Hour tonight is Mr. Deepak Kesarkar, Education Minister in the Maharashtra government. Kesarkar ji, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती हूं, आज जो बदलापुर पर इतना आउटरेज है उस पर कहा जा रहा है कि एक कॉन्स्पिरेसी है. ये कॉन्स्पिरेसी कैसे कह रहे हैं आप? किसकी कॉन्स्पिरेसी है?
कॉन्स्पिरेसी तो नहीं है मैडम, ऐसे किसी ने नहीं बोला है. उसके बाद जो एजिटेशन वहाँ पे चल रहा है, देखिए ये स्कूल का मैटर है, तो जिस स्कूल में ये दर्दनाक घटना हुई है उसके मैनेजमेंट को सब अधिकार छीन ले गए हैं. उस पर एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर अपॉइंट किया गया है और जो विक्टिम है उसको अरेस्ट हुई है, उसको कड़ी से कड़ी सज़ा हो, इसलिए भी द गवर्नमेंट इज़ कमिटेड फॉर दैट. दैट्स व्हाई वी आर अपॉइंटिंग अ स्पेशल प्रोसिक्यूटर and taking it to the fast track as well. The kind of delay which takes place from school side, they are being punished, all their authorities are being removed, and a government officer will henceforth run the school.
But Mr. Kesarkar, let me ask you, Mr. Kesarkar, let me ask you, the SIT was set up, the public prosecutor was appointed only after the Rail Roko Andolan took place. Before that, no action had been taken. In fact, the police took 13 hours to register an FIR and 3 days to get a medical report. On the 4th day, the accused was arrested. I want to ask you, is this the normal response time for crimes against women in Maharashtra?
Not at all, madam. It never happens like that. And this matter was specially kept pending from the school authorities. That's why action is taken against the school authorities.
This has been kept pending by the school authorities. The allegation is because there is a BJP neta involved in the ownership and on the board of the school. Is that correct? Is that the reason why the investigation, the registering of the FIR, pressure on cops, is it all explained because there is political pressure?
Madam, I don't think so, because I have personally visited this school, and the lady, senior PI, who was responsible for the delay, he is also being punished. She was transferred and inquiry is going to take place against her, and I am sure that proper action would be taken against her.
But Mr. Kesarkar, you are saying, I don't think so. Do you think this is enough in terms of giving confidence to the people of Badlapur, the people of this country, and the parents of the young victims? We're talking about a 3-year-old child, a 4-year-old child. And whenever there is political pressure, obviously some principal will be punished, some lower official will be punished. You're not getting into the political connections here, and those political connections very clearly mentioned by the opposition. Do you want me to name the BJP leader?
Madam, this is a grantable school, and it is a very old institute, and number of different trustees are there. So I am not aware who is the trustee. But irrespective of whosoever may be the trustee, I have initiated action against them. Immediately after I came to know, I rushed to the site. In fact, in the morning, you are asking about this 2 things, those were announced by the government. Those were announced in the morning. And I have taken a press, and I have also assured that action would be taken against the school. Again, action would be taken against those who delayed the matter, and a special prosecutor and fast track school also I announced in the morning. So it was not under pressure. We want to do it, and every case that happens in Maharashtra, such case, we give special prosecutor, we take it to the fast track court. And we always punish
Mr.
those
Kesarkar,
officers also.
On day 6 of the crime being
delay.
committed, on day 6 of the crime being committed, the police officials were suspended. Action against the principal and the school authorities was taken. On day 6, I want to ask you, is this normal? Would it be acceptable
Madam,
if we as parents are given this kind of treatment?
Actually, we come to know... No, madam, not at all. Please try to understand. When I came to know about the incidents, it was reported to me by my officers. Immediately, I took the action as a school education minister. And not only this, regarding the safety of the children, I had taken a meeting 6 months prior to this incidents and have given all specific instructions. In spite of that, it was found that the CCTV was not working. And today also, I have issued a GR immediately after this incident. How to take proper, there are GRs, but special GR is issued, where the accountability also fixed on the officers who don't report it in time.
Mr. Deepak Kesarkar, 7 days after the incident which took place, in fact 8 days after the incident which took place on the 13th of August, a school that is being investigated, you don't even know who the trustees are and whether there are political people on the board of the trustees. What kind of an investigation is this? And will this give confidence to the people of Maharashtra?
No, madam, I'll have to tell you that we don't go in such details. We go into details of the crime, and whosoever is responsible, irrespective of who he is, we take the action. And I have taken the action within 1 hour. Entire machinery was put into action and administrator is appointed. The very next day, the order of appointment as administrator was issued.
On day 6,
And
on day 6 of the
only
incident,
through the school management.
On
Because
day
it was
6
not
of the
known to
incident,
everybody.
Deepak
It was
Kesarkar.
not known to anybody. I am very honestly, madam, I am so accessible. Nobody informed about this.
there must be
Neither
a
the
home
parents
department.
nor
There must
anybody.
be a home
After
department
coming
in
to
the
know-
Maharashtra Sarkar. Law and order, isn't it the home department's job? Even if
Madam,
you were not
home-
informed, the government would have
Of
been
course.
informed.
Madam, I would like to bring to your notice that only after the complaint was made, the delay was from the local senior PI and action is being initiated against her. I don't know, I don't go into such details. I see to it that such incidents don't happen again, and these are not the instructions issued now. 6 months back, I have taken a meeting of all my department heads and all the officers in the department, issuing strict instructions about this, and we have always taken immediate steps. As far as my department is concerned,
Well,
whatever delay was there from the police department, the Home Minister is looking into it. He has appointed a SIT. It is very unfortunate, and we can never support the delay. It is absolutely a wrong thing to have delay in such sensitive matters, and we got to give a justice to the small children who are totally dependent on the school machinery for their safety.
well, Mr. Deepak Kesarkar, I hope your words give some assurance to those who are watching you on the News Hour tonight. But as far as confidence of the parents and of the society at large is concerned, questions will continue to be raised, and we will wait for action to be taken and translated in a fast-track manner as promised by the government. For now, thank you very much, Deepak Kesarkar ji, for joining me on the News Hour tonight.
Thank you.
On the other side, ladies and gentlemen, the debate opens up, and I'm joined by Radhika Khera, national spokesperson of the BJP, Krishna Hegde, national spokesperson of the Shiv Sena Shinde group, Pratibha Prahlad, renowned artist and Padma Shri awardee. Also joining me, Clyde Crasto, national spokesperson of the NCP and the Sharad Pawar faction. Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst, also joins the debate. My first question to you, Pratibha Prahlad. You heard the education minister, and the education minister's, has no answer to the political intervention, the political connections that are being alleged. He says he doesn't look at the board of trustees. Well, if the school where an incident of this kind has taken place, if they're not even looking at all of these details, then I don't know what is happening in the rest of Maharashtra and the country. On the other side, there is the Congress party member of parliament who says, "Aag laga do," as if that will solve all problems. What's going on in this country? And, perception, action, and normal sarkari attitude. Is there any relief from all of this? Will we ever see action?
Navika, I just, digressing from this particular issue, I just want to tell you that there's a systemic breakdown in this country. The institutions are not working as they should, and there's no accountability, there's no responsibility. There's not even fiduciary responsibility that the principal is supposed to have and the teachers are supposed to have towards young children. And what we are actually seeing is politicization at every level, from from top to down, there's politicization. And if this continues, we will have no relief, because every single day, all of us are, voicing our thoughts, our opinions. We're saying that this is wrong, this is horrible. We've run out of words. Horrific, crime, disastrous. We've just run out of all words, because what do you say? 4-year-old children, 3-year-old children being, molested in their toilets, and they go to school and it happens to them. And we know what's happening in Bengal. And you yourself spoke about what happened in UP and other places. there is something terribly wrong with our society. Something terribly, terribly wrong. And we have to correct that malaise, because I think that, every society has got perverts. Every society has got sexual predators. But ours just seem to be increasing, and ours just seem to have no fear of law. And that is the problem. The problem is that the police is complicit. Because like you said, it took 12 hours, 13 hours for them to file an FIR in a, like a sexually molested case. I mean, we're supposed to have a fast track court. We're supposed to have fast track laws. And we're supposed to have, we're supposed to have justice fast track. But nothing seems to be happening. And what at least the Maharashtra, minister said things, that would convince some people, I suppose, that some action is being taken. But the fact of the matter actually is that the systemic breakdown in the institution, police don't have any accountability. Suspension is not an answer, because suspension is paid vacation. These guys have to be put in jail, and they have to be given the harshest punishment. They should be punished as criminals, the police or whoever it is, the principal, the teachers, everybody else, because they're all accountable to what's happening to the students under their watch. And why don't the police
and the words, the manner in which the system responds, in state after state, the manner in which there is a response from the system completely undermines the confidence of people, citizens at large. And Radhika Khera, that's where the problem actually comes in. If there is a BJP leader, and that's what is being alleged, it's part of the candid camera report that has come from the school premises, that there is a strongman BJP leader. The fact of the matter is, if there is a BJP leader, obviously nobody is looking at it. Nobody is looking at it. Nobody is responding to it. Deepak Kesarkar, the education minister, says he doesn't know who the trustees are. The public prosecutor, deepest respect for Ujjwal Nigam, but well, he contested on a BJP ticket. How does the public trust him? Clyde Crasto raising his hand. Clyde Crasto, do you think the system has broken down, or do you think somebody will need to be accountable? After all, just blaming the system is not going to give us solutions.
Definitely, Navika, somebody has to be accountable. There are a couple of things I was listening to when you were talking to Deepak Kesarkar ji. I mean, he said something like, I don't think so. I mean, he's not sure. He's the education minister, he's not sure. And the other pertinent, very, very important point you raised was Mr. Ujjwal Nigam. He's the public prosecutor. He was a candidate as close as in the May elections. He was representing BJP. So how is he going to cover up or fight a case where there's a BJP connection in the whole issue? So where are we and what are we talking about all these things? And there are very important things I'd like to tell you is that a case has been filed against 300 protesters yesterday who are asking for justice within no time. And here it took 12 hours to file an FIR. So if the Home Department or the police want to work fast, they will work. They're not working.
Radhika Khera, please respond. Very important. Cases against protesters, instantaneous cases against protesters.
Listen to this one point, please.
Yeah, Clyde Castro.
One point, listen to this.
Okay.
Navika, I need your time. Listen to this point, very important.
All right.
Very important point. 3 years ago, the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly, which was headed by the Maha passed 2 laws. Those 2 laws, and I'm going to read them. I usually say it, but I want to be very specific. I'm going to read those 2 laws. Okay, Shakti Criminal Laws 2020 and the Special Courts and Machinery for Implementation of Maharashtra Shakti Criminal Law 2020. These 2 laws were passed by both houses of the Legislative Assembly of Maharashtra. Now, these laws have not been passed. They are lying in the center. They need the assent of the Honorable President of India. Right now, the government in Maharashtra is the BJP-led government. In the center is a BJP-led government. Why are they waiting? And these laws would have protected the women and children. And I can go on and read. Just give me 1 minute. Now, these laws were passed. And there are some very important points. Completion of probe in 15 days and trial in 30 days. Special police teams and special courts were assigned. Okay, if you threaten a woman, if she complains, you get 2 years imprisonment and 2 lakh fine. Stringent punishment leading to death penalty for these kind of acts.
I get the sense, Clyde Castro, Radhika Kheda, you may be raising questions in Bengal, but questions arise in Maharashtra. Clyde Castro, I heard you. Let's get Radhika Kheda to respond to the charges made.
Navika ji, the horrific incident in Badlapur has shaken us all, and our government is committed to ensure that swift and effective action is taken. And we are on that path as well. As you are aware, the Deputy Chief Minister has ordered an SIT probe, and he has ensured that a senior IPS officer, IG Aarti Singh, is leading that probe. And we are also ensuring that there is a fast track court, and we are also have put down everything under the POCSO Act. And what has happened is absolutely condemnable. And I tell you with utmost responsibility, like you were saying that there could be a BJP leader involved. We are not going to shield anyone. It may be whosoever.
But how do I believe this when the education minister says, "Hum to dekh hi nahi rahe hain, board of trustees kaun hai?" Candid camera operation there by my reporter says that there is a connection of a BJP guy, and that is the pressure that was there on the police. So you will suspend the small policeman there, the lowest man, on the ladder. You will suspend the principal, but nobody will take action against the politician.
The principal is not a small person. We have suspended the principal. We are ensuring that action is taken. The attendants are arrested who are responsible for this. The health minister himself has visited the victim's family. And, I know that there will be these questions asked until strict action is not taken, but and I am not going to say Mera rape versus Tera rape, or compare it with any other state. I can go on with a list of states where no action has been taken, and I can go on with a list in Maharashtra only of the previous governments which were not BJP-led governments, where no action was taken and justice was denied and left out and ignored. But I am not going to do that. I am not going to compare this with the West Bengal case and I am not going to keep quiet. Our ministers are coming out and talking. Our spokespersons are on your channels. We are committed to ensuring that justice is served. We are not running away. We are not saving any principle. We are not hiding or destroying the crime scene. We are not those who have refused to go. We don't belong. Like the principal in Bengal ensured that the FIR was not made. He refused to go and put a police complaint. So we are not going to do that. We are going to ensure, like I said, we are absolutely committed to ensuring that justice is given, which is why the Honorable Prime Minister on 15th August from the ramparts of Red Fort categorically said that all states need to ensure that justice is swift. All states need to ensure that those laws are enacted, and you cannot just keep sitting over there. And he also...
Radhika Kheda, yes, I'm not questioning the intent, but I'm looking at action on the ground, and action on the ground is that day 6 is when action takes place. And if that's supposed to give confidence to people, I don't know. Tehseen Poonawala
has been done, POCSO Act done, fast track court. Let's compare to Bengal now. Badlapur versus Bengal, if you really want to do that.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that, Radhika Kheda. Badlapur versus Bengal is not what I want in this country. I want to know why 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds are not safe in their schools, in their toilets. And when it comes to action, why does it take 13 hours to register an FIR? I want to know about that. And if you say that your government is better than the government in Bengal, then why did it take 13 hours to register an FIR? Why was an SIT set up on day 6? Why were the policemen and the school authorities suspended on day 7? I want to know all of these details, Radhika Kheda.
Navika ji, I don't want to politicize jeopardize this, but I want to ensure you that children's security is of utmost importance to us. We are not going to behave like the Karnataka government where a child is raped in school. We are not going to behave like a Telangana government where a minor is raped and impregnated. We are not going to behave like the Jharkhand government where a 3-year-old is raped by the bus conductor and the bus driver. It is a sad situation. It is a sad situation which is there all over the country. It is happening in Maharashtra. It is happening in Bihar.
Radhika ji,
it is happening across the country.
no, Radhika ji, unacceptable. These may be points for your politics. For me, a child in Maharashtra is equal to a child in Karnataka, is equal to a young doctor in Bengal, and I'm not going to raise these questions in the manner in which you are. But I also want to ask तहसीन पूनावाला, आग लगा दो, सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा. कहां आग लगाएं? तेलंगाना, कर्नाटका, बंगाल, महाराष्ट्र, बचेगा कुछ?
गलत है नाविका जी, absolutely wrong. And Navika ji, once again, I can't come on a show last night talking about West Bengal, criticizing BJP, and today coming here and saying no, taking the opposite position. No, women are being across our country. As the earlier, the first spokesperson, the first lady on your show spoke, the first panelist. Navika ji, the statistics are 35,000 women in our country are raped every year. You know the conviction rate is, ma'am, Source Times of India, 22%. You know how many cases make charge sheet? 0.2%. Ma'am, all the Honorable Prime Minister needs to do, forget chief ministers, forget everything. Call the leader of opposition. I'm not blaming the Prime Minister, not making this Congress versus BJP, TMC versus BJP, Badlapur versus Kolkata. Let's have a joint session of Parliament. Ma'am, a joint session of Parliament was called to pass the Women's Reservation Bill. No women got reservation. That's a separate thing. Why can't a joint session of Parliament be called by the Honorable Prime Minister? We actually get new laws in that Radhika was speaking about. We actually codify these laws. We go to the Chief Justice of India, the Prime Minister and Leader of Opposition, get fast-track courts across the country, put the money out for it. Are our women not equal citizens? All chief ministers will only get grants if the toilets are properly lit, if there are certain criteria put. Why can't leader of opposition and prime minister come out in parliament and put this proposal before the nation? Why can't we do it? I'm even asking Rahul Gandhi, stop these politics. Enough. I will come on a show, you'll call me, I will bash BJP, BJP will bash Congress. What is the solution? Who said बहुत हुआ महिलाओं पे अत्याचार, अब की बार मोदी सरकार 11 साल हो गए? Why can't that happen? That's what we need. Let's get new laws in. Let's work with the opposition and let's get it moving.
But a new law came in after Justice J.S. Verma, after Nirbhaya. New laws came in. What has changed? And I want to ask Mr. Krishna Hegde. Mr. Krishna Hegde, if there are allegations of a BJP leader being involved, being the decision maker in that school, using his influence to delay police action, I want to ask you, the minister says, we don't go into these details. Are bhai, if you don't go to the root of the problem, how are you going to solve the problem? Is the rest just a whitewash and eyewash? Just wait for the dust to settle and forget about it because elections are around the corner and politics will take over anyways. Is this what we are living for as citizens in this country, Mr. Hegde?
Navika, let me tell you that, the trustee may be from any party, any political party, ours or otherwise. We are committed to giving justice to the child and the family. And whoever the trustee may be, the school action has been taken against the school and an administrator has been appointed there.
Can anybody give me an explanation why for 13 hours an FIR was not registered?
Secondly,
can you give me an explanation on why for 13 hours an FIR was not registered?
No,
why?
It is Navika, the government is committed to giving justice to this family, to the children.
Homilies.
That the FIR has not been registered.
But government may be committed. I'm not questioning the commitment, but it did not happen. It did not happen, my friend. It did not happen.
Navika, can you let me speak?
No, I'm asking. First answer my question.
Navika, please let me speak.
First answer my question.
No, we have formed a... we have formed an SIT here. The accused has been put under rape charge. A POXO charge has been put. The case is tried on fast track. The teachers who have been there have been suspended. The principal have been suspended. Administrator has been put into the school. All action has been taken there. And I tell you that this government is committed to giving justice. Secondly, one of the panelists was saying that why is Ujjwal Nikam fighting the case? Was Abhishek Manu Singhvi not a Congress MP and was Kapil Sibal not a MP? And were they not fighting cases there? So this is not a logical, argument the panelist was making. Let me also tell you that all procedures, all GRs are in place, and if there is any action, all action will be taken against that school or any other school which flouts the GRs. And these GRs have been in place for many, many years. Now let me tell you that I don't want to compare states, but there is agitation. It maybe it was an organic agitation, but there are CDRs from the police report and there are call records which have been traced that a lot of outsiders are making calls and bringing people by buses into the tracks to derail the system, the lifeline of the Mumbai railway system and create a chaos in the cities. Now let me tell you that
police tap numbers without court permission.
Listen.
Opposition numbers.
How are you recording numbers?
Why a DCP? Listen, anyone over the DCP level, if there is a criminal activity,
So you were tapping phones of opposition leaders?
If the police had the intel on the calls, why did they allow the bus to come into Badlapur?
If there is a criminal activity going on the ground, then police can track call records. Why cannot they track?
Allow the buses to come into
Then what are you talking about intelligence? What are you talking about intelligence of the Home Ministry?
If they had
No,
intel,
listen.
if they had
What do you
intel,
mean you cannot track anybody?
Mr. Hegde, now you've stirred a hornet's nest. I want to ask you, Mr. Hegde, two questions. No, two questions. If the police had the intel, Clyde Castro is asking you, why were the buses allowed to come in? Number one. Number two, were you tapping phones of opposition leaders to know that there was a conspiracy?
The buses were ferried in, which we got to know later. And those people who are carrying Ladki Bain posters to defame the government and defame the game changer scheme of the government. So let me tell you, this is a government which means action. The Eknath Shinde government means action, and we have taken action against the school. We have taken action against the management. The accused is in jail. All kinds of charges have been put on him.
Nobody is talking.
Special public prosecutor
Nobody is talking here of the trauma of those two young toddlers. Nobody is talking about the trauma of the 3-year-old and the 4-year-old. Nobody is talking about the trauma of the parents. Nobody is talking about the fact that parents of toddlers were made to wait for 13 hours for registration of an FIR. Nobody is talking about the trauma of the family for action to be taken on the school, on the police, or an SIT to be set up. Nobody is worried about that. What are people worried about? Whether there was a conspiracy, whether the opposition was involved in defamation of the government, whether the government should be defamed and aag lagana chahiye sab jagah or not. Nobody is talking about the children, the toddlers, the family. Nobody is talking about the crime and why it took place. Nobody is even talking about the political connection. What are we talking about? Homilies and statements that, well, the government is committed and we will take action. Everything will be done. It's the same homily that comes every time. It's the same assurance that comes every time till the next time another child, another woman is at the receiving end. And once again, gaps, and more gaps in rules and the reaction time of the authorities. Does this satisfy you as a citizen? If it does or if it doesn't, write to us. Because this will have to stop and it will have to be a people's movement. Not the Jalado type, but people movement to make things work, because these systems exist for us, not the netas. We leave it at that. Thank you very much to my panelists for joining me on the Newshour Debate number 1. On the